Hey guys, my name is Jason with Mount Baker Mining and Metals, and I'm out today with Dan Hurd, and this time it's his turn to take me on a little death march. He has gone ahead on his quad and I have to carry the buckets, but we're going into the blue chip mine today, and our plan is to get a bunch of ore and take it back to my crushers, crush it up, see about getting the gold out for them. So hopefully we can fill all these buckets up with some nice rich blue chip gold mine ore and get the gold out. But first I gotta make it to the mine. There he goes. He's gone. Hope I can catch him. Well, we made it down to the blue chip. There's several different adits on the property, it sounds like. I think Dan's standing in front of adit number 2. There he is. Adit number 1 is over there somewhere. There's one up the hill and one down below us. Let's go over and talk with Dan and see what he can point out on this quartz vein, because I'm excited to get digging on this thing. Okay, Dan, where's the gold?
The gold is up at adit number 3.
Oh, okay.
We haven't actually tested down here too much. The quartz doesn't look all that great down here. It looks really good at adit number 3. It is a horizontal seam that has almost no dip to it, which makes it almost impossible to mine. Miners just do not like working that, because for every foot in you dig, you get 1 foot of vein, and you just can't get much material. That's why this never really took off. But you can see up on the hill there, the seam's about 4 inches wide at that point, maybe 6 inches wide over there. Up this way, it's maybe about 8 inches wide. It swells and pinches and all that kind of stuff. And strangely enough, when they dug adit number 2, which is the biggest one here for sure, they stayed below it the whole time. I think they probably planned to, you know, throw some stopes. Is that what it is?
Stopes, yeah.
Going up.
Raise and stope, yeah.
Raise the stope up into it, but they never did. For whatever reason.
That's weird. So there's no outcrop of the vein in this tunnel, or in this adit?
The main vein, no. Lots of secondaries.
Okay.
Lots of secondaries.
And so are we planning to work down here, or are we going up around the corner today?
I'm hoping to take most of our material from the number 3, because that's the good stuff.
Yeah.
But also hoping for maybe a little bit of the shotgun approach. Get a bit from all over the place.
Sure.
And get an idea.
All right, let's do it.
Even this, like taking some of the, like this is coming from the main seam. It broke off from wherever up there. But you can see it's got like some of the quartz on it still. So there's no problem, you know, taking a few of those, and like this is where the gold's gonna be hiding. It's in the rotted out sulfide pockets for sure.
Yeah.
And once in a while we do see visible gold. We've seen leaves of gold, you know, flaring up in cracks up to maybe a ½ inch big.
Wow.
A few small chunks of gold up to maybe a ½ inch in size, and then lots of those microscopic specks that you almost need a loupe to see.
Interesting. And so there's some high-grade gold here. I mean, you found some good stuff.
There is some really good stuff. The seam is not large, and that is why it's not economical to mine this, and the fact that it's horizontal.
Yeah. Do you know what the host rock is? Is it a...
It's a gabbro. It's mostly a gabbro. And in many places you can see, yeah, just like that. You can see that typical granite look to it. And apparently the mineralization, the gold actually does leach out into the gabbro a little bit from the main seam. That's one thing I'd love to test with your machine there, though, is how much is locked up and how much is free milled. I think that's a great idea tomorrow, is when we mill this all down, is separate off all of the free milled and then smelt the rest. Yeah. Compare the two.
See if there's half the gold's locked up and half is free or whatever. Yeah.
My initial smelts, and my smelting was never very good, they showed that it was almost all free milled.
Oh, interesting.
You're much better at smelting than I am. You might get better results.
Okay, we're going into the number 2 adit.
And the number 2 is definitely the safest, most stable, you know, I feel comfortable walking in this one. Number 3 is a bit sketchy, and number 1 is flooded.
Okay.
And if we want to do any panning, this is our water source.
This is it. Okay.
And if you're careful, Because neither of us put boots on, you can walk the logs in. Ah.
And this is that typical host rock Dan was talking about. So that's what the country rock is. Whoop. Okay.
Wet feet already?
Not yet. So far, so good.
Now we do see lots of these secondary veins going all over the place. Some of them are like nicely mineralized. However, no, I won't say I haven't found any gold in here. I took some debris off the floor and panned it out and found a few pieces of gold. So obviously it's holding some.
But it's the main outcrop that we see on the surface never is exposed.
It's still above us, yeah.
It's still above us, and they were hoping maybe it dipped down and was going to intersect it, or they were going to be able to raise up on it, but it just never happened.
There's one place that there's a significant quartz showing in the ceiling, which could be it, but I don't know.
They never did any development work on it, though.
No, and it's just, this is just a straight shot. It's like straight as an arrow, right in, 100 meters in, and that's it.
It's a nice adit. I mean, they did a good job. It's big enough to walk in. And do you know when this was developed? What year?
I don't know this one. This is the newest. My buddy worked this mine back in the 60s.
Oh, really?
He was up at adit number 3. He's since passed away, but he's the one that I got all my information from about it and sort of put me onto this site.
And did it make any ore? I mean, did they?
Yep, they sent a bunch of ore off to smelter in Spokane, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, there was some good gold in it. But again, there's just no volume of vein to work.
Yeah. Well, this is a lot of work, though, to punch this in here.
Oh, what?
Uh-oh, gotcha.
No.
Looking like there's some more darker minerals back here in the host. Going a little more mafic in composition, which is kind of interesting. The grains are getting a little bigger, too. All right, don't step in the puddle.
So busy looking up, you don't look down and see what you're stepping on.
Yeah.
Watch your head.
Yeah, they had some old bolts and they did some stuff.
They did some work. Now, right around here somewhere, and I'm not sure where, we took some material from the ceiling and showed great sulfides in it.
Uh-huh.
But that was about it.
Not a lot of gold.
I can't remember where that was. Maybe right there. Oof, that's why we have our nets.
Gotcha.
And you can see the rusting out sulfides here, but I don't see the big quartz that I remember we chiseled out.
Huh. Anything back there? I don't see much there. And this is it. This is where they called her good, huh?
Yep. It's not even like they hit one final seam or anything and ended it. It's just that was it.
Stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at this. We're right at the very end, looking out at the entrance. Like that's how straight it is.
Yeah, straight as an arrow. And what oh, I got to do my meters thing. What's that? 50 meters?
I think they say this is 90 long.
90.
I could be mistaken though.
Yeah.
I've read a lot on this mine, and you know it's all kind of morphed together.
Yeah. 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 Here's kind of a dipping fault or something here. It looks like maybe where they stopped, but it's certainly not the main vein by any means.
Well, this might be where we chiseled away. It looks like chisel marks
Got
here.
some stuff
yeah, and there's
there.
the sulfides.
Yeah.
This is where we took a little sample from.
But no gold.
I can't remember. Nothing that made me excited from down here, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get out of here. We'll go get some gold.
I'm going to cloak myself. I not want to go underneath the rock.
I'm following Dan up to the number 1 adit now.
I'll show Jason where we're at, but
he says it's flooded.
Those look deadly dangerous.
And unstable. All right, Dan, what do we got here? This is number 1?
This is number 1.
The scary one.
The entrance to number 1 has sloughed in, but you can still get over the slough and into it. This is my water source if I'm ever running a high bank or something in here testing things.
Yeah.
Because it's right flooded and there's lots of water in it. Unfortunately, this last winter, another slough came down, dropped a few more rocks here, but left just a nasty overhanging rock right above us.
Yeah, I see that.
And I don't feel like going over there until that one either comes down naturally or we bring, you know, a grappling hook up here or something and just yank it down.
Sure. Yeah, we don't need to get hit by a rock today.
That would be the end of us really quickly. Really quickly.
But here's the, I think this is the vein right here. You can see a little bit of the vein right up there. And it comes across, I lose it over there in the brush. If you could
get up to where I'm standing, I'll move back, but if you look down and into the end of it, you'll see the vein going through the top of it.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Significant there.
Yeah.
It's up to 8-10 inches thick at some points, right there.
And did this, oh well, you've never been in this one because it's been flooded the whole time.
Yeah.
So we don't know if it intersected the vein.
It's driven in on the vein.
It's on right on the vein.
It's right on the vein. I did see a video of some explorers that came up here who decided to walk in on it. They just sort of, you know, stripped down and walked in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend that. I don't know what the air situation in there would be like with so much moisture and the sulfides.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of hazards in these old mines that you can see and some you can't see.
Yeah. So
stay out, stay alive. Yeah, let's not go in this one today.
Nope.
Well, we've made it up to the number 3 adit, which is only about 100 feet from where we could drive the quad, but it's uphill. When you're carrying stuff, it gets heavy. Yes. Here's the vein. I think you can see, there we go, that's a pretty good shot of it. And this is pretty wide, I think, for the showing. This is what, a foot or so?
10 inches maybe?
10 inches. Yeah. And then it keeps going up the hill there.
It really pinches off right here, pinches off to almost nothing, but I've also been told that the highest grade stuff is this direction.
Okay.
Once you're inside, you can head that direction, and that is where the best material is.
Oh.
But I don't like working inside, I'd rather find it on the surface.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes it easier that way.
So over here is where I have got some of my best material. You can see the seam back in there. When I first got the claim, that vein came all the way out basically to this front edge. And we just chiseled it all the way back, removed some top rock, and got quite a bit of material from there. And that's where all the big chunks have come from.
Like big chunks of gold? Chunks
of gold up to, you know, 0.2 of a gram.
Oh, wow.
1/4 inch type, really hard, gnarly things.
Yeah.
We have found 1 or 2 big chunks off to the right when you go inside, and then off to the left is just where the volume is. That's where, you know, you can right now take a scoop from the floor, put it in a pan, and find gold.
And find gold.
Yeah.
But if we can get some more volume off of this face, or off of this showing here, that's where we're going to find our best gold.
Yes.
Do you know what, like, grams per ton it runs? Have you ever had it assayed?
We assayed a chunk from inside over there, and it came out to, if my memory's serving me, I think it was 12 grams per ton.
Okay, yeah.
Lots of old reports on here that say like 5 to 8 is common. And we just went to the hot spot, and I think we got 12 at the hot spot.
Yeah, well that's good. That's what you do when you own a mine. Good, well we'll get set up here and we'll go do a little mining.
We did high bank this dump right here. We put the high banker off, pumped water from way down below.
Wow.
And moved probably 2 yards of material through, and got a couple grams of gold that's just sitting in this material here. And I want to keep pushing back until we get on the vein. We saw lots of indication of vein material, like little chunks of quartz.
Yeah.
All through this, but we never found the vein in situ. And I really want to find it, but lots of debris has fallen on this section. I'm sure the vein is just right back in there.
But yeah, I can see it. I mean, there's pieces of quartz They're just in the pile. We can just pick those up and put them in a bucket.
Yep, we'll grab as much of that as we can today.
Yeah. Is there, oh, look at this little tiny thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the main vein coming through here. It's kind of at the right height. It's only 1.5 inches thick. I did blast off a chunk of the cap rock there and get some vein out, and it had gold in it. That could be the other end of the vein that we just saw coming through. But there are also other small little veinlets up there as well. Or it could be below us still.
And as far as we know, there's nothing farther over this way. No workings.
No, the number 4 adit, do you hear the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a creek coming down over the hill. Number 4 adit's around that knob in the creek valley.
Oh.
I've tried a couple times to get over there and got distracted with gold. I was going over there when I found this spot and found visible gold. The next time I tried to go over, I stood on a twig that slipped my foot out from underneath me, and that just panicked me a little bit. That was sort of as far as I was going to go.
Yeah.
It's really, really steep terrain.
It is. I mean, just looking at the side hill, the camera probably doesn't do it justice, but it is very steep.
Yeah, what is that? 70 degree?
It's steep. Yeah, it's hard to walk. Very difficult. You got a little high-grade honey hole up here, though.
Yes. There is a vein that comes through at ground level right down there, and very high in iron, like black, sludgy iron. And then this is obviously a sub-vein because it's going completely opposite direction of the main vein structure. This one is vertical right here.
Oh, yeah.
And I found visible gold all over this wall. I've chipped it all off now. It's all gone. But all over this wall was visible gold.
Really?
When I go up into the vein up there, I find nothing. It seemed to be all about this height down. And one of my jobs for the future, maybe even today, is I want to dig down and see if this vein continued straight down, because it's so fun seeing visible gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's a totally different strike and dip than the main vein. This is almost vertical.
Yeah.
And if this has super high grade in it, that might be an interesting spot to look. So this is where you were finding those kind of dendrites, the leaf gold. Yeah, wow.
Very, very thin, like microscopically thin, but up to like a ½ inch of, you can see that flare of gold.
Wow. Well, yeah, I wouldn't mind spending 10 minutes digging this out and seeing what we could find. But yeah, you're not going to make a lot of volume. That little thing is, yeah, a few inches at most. Well, that's interesting. I wonder if they intersected this underground somewhere and we could find it underground. Does the adit go back far enough?
Probably not. Probably doesn't get back this far.
Huh.
Underground, it goes through, you go in, it goes straight and then branches off both directions, but the straight back, I don't think goes this far back in.
Huh. They just missed it.
They just missed it. They stopped 6 inches too short.
That's the story of our lives there.
Hello, bears. Hello. I doubt there's any bears in there.
I hope not. Yeah. You go first.
Okay. We're inside. I've actually spent quite a bit of time down in this attic.
Oh,
Quartz crystals over on that side. I've harvested some really nice quartz crystals over there. Over here is where all the best gold is found.
Oh, yeah.
And again, if you take a handful of that stuff on the ground right there, pan it out, it'll have gold in it. It's that abundant right there.
Really?
And then straight back, I haven't really done any work straight back. I've grabbed a few quartz samples and whatnot, but yeah, haven't really ever done much.
Really?
The highest grade assay was right up there. And just around that little bluff, that little corner there is where my buddy Dave took an assay from. And what I've been told is that seam right there, at roof level, is where all the good stuff is.
Okay. Well, it looks like you've chipped it all back and got the easy stuff. Huh?
Well, someone before me did.
Okay. We might be able to get a little bit more out of there, but
there's a good spot right there. Right there is
where it hangs. Yep.
Get a bit, and look at the iron just coming down. juicy stuff.
Yeah. So there's not much back there then?
No, it's a fun little walk.
Under this.
And there's quartz everywhere on the ground. So if we just want to go and start, you know, picking up debris to go crush.
Yeah.
Anywhere in here we can find it. There's a seam right there.
Yeah.
The vein. I keep calling it seams. That's the wrong terminology, isn't it?
We all know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think it's a geography thing. Australians call them reefs.
Yep.
Seams, veins.
And yeah, there's just chunks of quartz everywhere in here. And as we can tell from adit number 5, it doesn't really matter if you're on the main one or the sub ones. They all seem to have something in them.
What do you think about that vertical vein right there? Could that be the one we saw on the surface?
Oh, it could be. Are we back far enough? Yeah, that might be it.
Where you found all the gold?
That's a significant vertical, and that could be the right distance back.
And it comes across.
It's got drip going right down my neck.
Yeah. There it comes right through there.
Yeah.
So,
it's nice and stable back here. If we wanted to work in here, we could.
Oh, I got all excited when you said you found all that big gold in this little stringer. I don't know. What else we got?
What else is back here? Yeah.
Is there another vertical somewhere that?
The horizontal, it's still following the main.
Yeah.
The main goes right down and around there.
It looks like it's a little bit, maybe 3 or 4 inches back here, so it's come out a little bit in size.
There might actually be a spot just to your right that we could actually get a little bit of the material.
Boy, look how rusty it is back here.
In front of you there.
Yeah, this here hanging over, maybe here, but it's definitely rusty. All decomposed sulfides. Yeah, look at that. That looks like good stuff.
It's raining in here.
It is. Wet. Looks like it did a little split there. Came back here together. And you were saying the foot wall is the hot spot or the hanging wall?
Not necessarily.
Just,
we don't know.
Okay. Just somewhere in the vein, there might be some high-grade stuff, high-grade zones.
Yeah. The old timer that was mined this back in the 60s said that you're looking for the Boxwork Quartz that is sort of a bit crumbly, and that's where they found the best material. But it might be just crumbly because it's surface material. Like maybe if some of this stuff was left out on the surface, it would go crumbly too.
Yeah, you called it what'd you call it?
Boxwork Quartz.
I don't know.
I'll show you at the surface what I mean by boxwork.
Okay, yeah, I've never heard that one before.
And I believe this here is the tellurium. The telluride.
Oh, the gray.
The gray, yes.
That gray gooey stuff. And is the gold associated with that, or?
It's
hard to tell.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's the seam right there. We can pop that off real simply.
Yeah.
Use the quartz crystals.
Yeah. Let's get mining. I don't know. I like your idea. Just bringing a bucket in and picking up rocks in the ground.
Picking up debris.
That's super easy. Lazy miner style.
And the highest assay, the best assay we got was right in that crack right there. We pulled a big chunk out just like that, sent it off for an assay, and it came back, I think it was 12, maybe 15. I always have to go back and look those things up. I can never really remember.
But this is their little stope where they were working in the 60s, you think?
Yeah, my buddy Dave, when he was up here working it, yeah, he was working this stuff. He was breaking out this quartz, crushing it down on site, high grading it, and then they sent a whole, I think 2 barrels off to a smelter in Spokane.
Ah. Do you know where their tailings are?
Sort of. They're too overgrown and over the hill to actually.
Oh yeah, to recover. Because I bet they're pretty oxidized at this point. You could rework those.
A lot of material right in there that has come down since we cleaned it out. So we could actually get quite a bit of material out of the hot spot too.
Yeah, quartz there on the floor. You're standing on a bunch?
Yep. Pan any of the stuff out I'm standing on, you will find gold.
Huh. And this old steel they stuck in
watch your head.
face.
That got my head once real good.
Oh, ow.
Funk.
Well, Dan's out there working on the surface. I'm underground. And I just broke off a clean face here on the quartz vein. And it looks like there might be two different generations. One here, one up here, or it may just be a little crack in the vein, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna try and knock a bunch of this stuff off of here and see if I can get some good quartz and look for some gold. Get it all put in our bucket, take it out, and get it to the crusher. All right, well, I don't know if you can see or hear me, but there's a big chunk of rock here I'm gonna try and knock off, and that'll expose the footwall of the vein, so then I can get up here on the hanging wall and drop all that vein down off, but I can't do it while this big chunk is sitting here. So let me see if I can get my hammer and chisel, or maybe just my hammer. I just wail on it. Whoa. Yeah, look at all that vein I just exposed. Now I can hopefully get that all knocked off. It's nice when you're working near the surface because all this is oxidized, so it's pretty soft. The joints have all had water in them. They've probably frozen and thawed several times, so it's a lot easier to break. Whereas when you're way underground, the rock's a lot harder. But now I'm going to see if I can get some of this off of here and into a bucket.
I just called Jason out for a second. I'm going to drop this rock and make sure it's all safe. Just didn't want you inside when I'm dropping the rock here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, please don't kill me.
Well, it wasn't, I don't think it would have killed you. I think it may have just blocked you inside.
Yeah, well, I don't want that either. You want me to move your machine here?
Oh, sure. Okay. I don't think it's that much.
All right, yeah. Ooh, there's a...
Ooh, she's bigger than I thought.
That whole thing's going to go.
About to come. Maybe move the bucket too, just in case the whole face comes.
Yeah. Hey, why do you have so much more rock than I do? All right.
Okay, what is going on here? This whole thing is about to go. And there are things above me. Where am I going? I'm going over that way so nothing hits me. I don't have a driver. There we go. I think that would have concerned you if you heard that while you were outside.
Yes, I'm glad you called me out for that one. Wow. What else you got? Oh. Scaling.
Yeah, gotta keep things safe here.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're good.
Okay.
You're safe to go back.
Back in the hole.
Back in your hole.
All right, I think I'm gonna knock this vein right off here, but let's see if I can do it one-handed. Oh, yeah. Look at some of those sulfides in there. Yeah, that's good stuff. Trying to get an action shot here. Don't want to hit it too hard, have it go all over the place, but it's definitely coming. See if I can wiggle it a little bit. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, let's see if we can get this off of here. Well, that worked. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. Okay, now we're doing good. Let's do that again. I'm pretty happy with what I've got so far. I've knocked a big chunk of the vein out. I've got a whole 5-gallon bucket's full there, all hand cobbed with a hammer and chisel. And Dan's out in the surface with a generator and a roto hammer. And I figure just between you and me. We'll have a little race and see who can fill more buckets with ore. So I got to take this first one out and see how he's coming along. But I'm determined to beat him with a hammer and chisel. So let's see how it goes today. Well, there's my first bucket. Dan, how are you doing?
One bucket full, starting on the second.
One bucket. Oh man. I told everybody inside we were gonna race to see who could fill the buckets faster.
Uh-oh.
And I think
got the first one done first, but my next seam is about a quarter-inch wide.
You got less to go on?
Yep.
Well, hopefully mine just gets easier and easier. Are you gonna work here or are you gonna go somewhere else?
I'm gonna leave this for now. I found the vein on the other side of this rock, but it's very thin. I'm gonna see if I can get 1 or 2 rocks from it.
Okay.
I just want to see what it looks like. Curiosity's sake, mostly.
Sure.
And then probably around the corner a bit more where that step was. I want to get a chunk off there.
Yeah.
Oh, no, behind you. I think I'll work behind you next.
And the wide section.
Yes, especially if we're racing to fill buckets.
That's right, yeah, now you're gonna, I see.
One rock from there will do it.
Well, yeah, now that I'm out in the light, I want to look at some of this stuff and see what I got. Let me go get my hammer and we'll break some of it open. But the old guy used to be able to see gold in this stuff.
See gold in this stuff. He would just break the rocks open, look under his loop, and say, there's a piece, there's a piece, there's a piece. Maybe that's a piece.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Do you have a glass? I don't have a. I don't have a loop. No. So you get it to focus first. Yeah. But there's a nice. It's so nice that it's close to the surface and it's weathered and oxidized. It really helps break it off, loosen it up, I guess. But yeah, I haven't. I mean, this is where I think we should be getting excited, right?
That is nice looking stuff.
Like all this stuff down here.
That looks great. Let's get a close-up of some of these. I think that might be a little bleb of gold right there. My old eyes can't really tell. That could be one too. Wouldn't that be nice?
Hopefully we get a nice gold line on the table.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be cool. Get a real button.
Hey, a camera of a camera.
Oh yeah,
Look at that.
I'm filming you filming.
You zoom in on that, I'll zoom in on this.
Double eyes. Double zoom. All right, well, I'm excited. This is going good.
Just right back in?
Yep. We got 2 buckets. And what, we've been working 20 minutes maybe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome.
And I'm exhausted.
I know, and I'm tired. Let's go home. Well, I just broke a piece off here and I'm pretty excited about it. This is still in the vein, obviously, or still in the mountain, but there's these big black vugs and they're full of crystals, but I think there's a bunch of gold in there. Yeah. Is that a bunch of gold in those vugs? I gotta take this one out and show Dan. Let's get a second opinion here. That's pretty interesting looking stuff. But that's really good looking stuff.
It is. Now, which one were you looking at?
I was looking at down in that vug, right down there.
Damn, that looks good. That's gold.
Is it gold?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure of it.
Look at there.
There we go. I think that's our first visible gold of the day. And you know, I think there's a piece off to the sort of right, up top right as well.
And is there one on the extreme right of your
no, I don't think that is.
How about the other way?
This way. Oh, extreme right, over here.
There you go.
My other right, yes.
Your other right. Is that one right there?
It could be. As I said, every one of those pockets could have it in it.
And yes, there's sister pockets to that inside still, and I think I see gold in the vugs left.
Woo-hoo!
It's a nice rock. That one might be worth saving and slaving or something.
Look at that, way up here too. That's gold. That's gold up there too.
Yep.
It's all over this piece. Yep, I'd say this piece gets set aside.
Ooh, that's a keeper.
Okay, Jason called me inside. Says, gotta come have a look.
I think there's just gold sticking all over this face.
This is exactly where I was told it would be.
Yeah, is that all gold? Right up there?
Ooh, funk. It sure looks like it, doesn't it?
Look at that. Oh, is that just a big old piece sticking right out
right
of it?
Inside that big vug?
Yeah.
It looks like it, doesn't it? I don't know how my close-up camera will do in here.
Now how do we get it out of there? I think I can work it out. But
let's see what I can do. Still in the wall. How are you going to get that out of there, Jason?
I don't know. We might need to divert your hammer drill out there. I don't know.
I got a long extension cord. We don't have to run the generator inside.
Yeah. I think I can get it out. Let me get this out by hand, and it'll be worth twice as much.
Perfect.
Well, I've got good news and I got bad news. I got that piece out of the wall, but I think I knocked a lot of the gold off in the process because it was really in there. But I believe right in the center there, that vug has a bunch of dirty gold on it. I'm going to switch my strategy here, and there's a bunch of loose material up here on this little shelf, and somebody worked really hard, or there's a natural big vug there or something, because that goes way back in there. There's a lot of material. I'm going to scrape it down there, work around. There's some more material over there on that shelf, and try and go for some easier stuff, because one, I think Dan's winning the bucket race here, but I'm going to tell him I'd rather go for quality over quantity. Here's a piece Dan found out in the surface. Well, you mined it out of the surface exposure. And this is the Boxwork. Boxworks?
What Dave called it was Boxwork Quartz.
Okay.
And he explained it to me. It's the stuff that looks to have fractures going in two different directions, or kind of like very low-grade, incomplete crystals.
Okay. And this is a good example here.
Yeah.
Where the fractures run up and down and then across the faces, kind of? Is that what you're seeing?
You often get, I have a whole
uh-oh. There it goes.
You get sort of like the sugar cube effect of pieces breaking off, just little chunks. And look at this, that telluride pocket's all through this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the stuff that Dave was saying is the good stuff.
He said to look for the Boxwork Quartz.
Okay. Yeah. And that's what held the gold.
Because you would find these pockets in the boxwork, and that's where he often found the visible gold.
Uh-huh. Just like we found earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
I've got a second bucket full. Do you? It looks like it.
Well, I'm going for quality over quantity now.
Okay.
That'll be my excuse, huh? Yeah, well, maybe after...
Can your crusher take that size?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Put her in the crusher. This is where Dan's been working on the surface, and he's been outperforming me, unfortunately.
Volume-wise.
Volume-wise. But, yeah, and you can see the quartz vein just runs across the face of the hill there, and it's right on the surface, so that's nice. But Dan, talk like for 15, 20 seconds about, this is your claim, this is your mineral claim.
Yes.
And even though people know where it is, and we've talked about the blue chip, and that's where we are, people can't come here and prospect or take minerals off, correct?
No, the way things work here in British Columbia is if you actually stake a private claim, this is a private claim, the owner of that state claim has sole mineral rights to the land. People can still come onto the land, hikers can come through, people can, investigate, but they can't take any minerals. They can't even pick up a rock and walk off with it.
Uh-huh.
Not that I'd care if someone walked off with a rock, but every last little bit of mineral here belongs to me. I have the rights to.
Okay, that's good to know. So even though you might see veins on the surface, you can come look, but don't take.
Don't take, yeah. And I own 4 cells, so 4 40-acre parcels all around the blue chip mine here. And then once I found that there was good material, good gold, whatnot, I also claimed about 16 more cells around those original 4.
Wow.
As what I call a surround. So it keeps interests out. And if ever I found more that this extended out more, I have, a few hundred, maybe even up to 1,000 acres of land here now.
And you own the mineral rights on all of those claims.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good to know. Well, Dan's going to show me how he fills these buckets so fast. Wow,
it's all down there.
That works great. I was trying to stop it with my feet. Yeah, that's way better than what I was doing. You expose this gray area a little bit more.
The gray stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Does this come off? Yeah. Oop, focus. Little bugs, little gray stuff.
Another little bit of that gray up here too.
Yeah.
And then that's the one I was playing with earlier. And then the iron layer on top.
Yeah, I like the look of that iron layer.
And there's one of the bugs with sulfides.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get it in the bucket. Well, I got the hammer drill in here, and I'm working this little vein right up here. And look at all the sulfides in that. Holy moly. It's like as much sulfides as quartz. And I'm just going along with the hammer drill and just carving it off of there. It's pretty soft. Putting it down in my bucket. So that is great looking stuff. Dan's outside doing something else, but I'm gonna carve as much as I can off of here and then call him in so he can take a look at what I got. But that is outstanding looking stuff. Hopefully it carries a bunch of gold with it. Called in the expert here to see what I got.
Ooh, it's shining. That is just straight up iron pyrite, or sulfide of some sort.
And then turn around and I ran into the same stuff over in there. It's a little less, it's a little more oxidized.
Yeah.
A little less apparent. But it's almost like there's a seam in the quartz seam that runs across through here.
Yeah, we got some nice gold out of this side here. Again, specimens and all, right from up there.
Yeah, because it's certainly gooey and, I mean, let's see if I can get, yeah.
Yeah, it's just crumbly black.
It's just, there's quartz in it, but it's just gooey black.
There's gold in your hand, man.
There's gold in there. Well, I got half a bucket of that stuff.
The knob is still there. Apparently you didn't get it.
I got some, but yeah, it's more difficult than, I got started over here and got excited.
Looks great. Beautiful looking stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, you want to go, I'm done working in here. So if you want to go and work out on your spot there, I can bring the hammer drill up there.
See if we can find some specimens up there.
Yeah, that'd be very cool.
You got a big chunk you can knock off right there. Look at that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was looking at that. I don't think that's the vein.
Oh.
Because it's, I think the vein's up here.
Okay.
And pinches, and that's just some wall that.
I see, yeah.
I thought the same thing too, but then I knocked a piece off.
Oh, there's lots of good stuff right there. Just up in there. Bonk.
Yeah. I'll go turn on the generator for you.
No thanks.
We'll leave it for next time.
Yes. And then you left lots on the floor to pick up for next time too, I see.
Yeah, well that's just seed gold. You gotta let it, put some back to grow. Well, Dan brought me up above to what he calls adit number 5, which isn't an adit yet. But he says he's been getting some really nice specimen gold off this little tiny vein right here. So we brought the hammer mill and the generator up.
The hammer mill?
We bought the, how many times have I said that? We bought the hammer drill and the generator up. So we'll give it a shot here and see if we can find some specimen gold.
There's some quartz.
Hey, there we go. That's what we want to see.
Line.
Oh, oh, that came out of there.
Yeah, that's right through here.
Oh.
But at the bottom of the vein that was showing me so much free milled.
I wonder if that's where this piece came from.
Yeah, it is.
The bottom of that
it's
hole.
the same height, same elevation in the hole. That piece is worth keeping. Or even just taking some time and like popping off and seeing what we see inside.
Yeah.
It's too bad the sun just went away, because that was the day I found all that gold. The sun had just hit here, and you could see a microscopic piece on that wall from back here.
Yeah, it just
shined out at you.
The sunlight is amazing with that stuff. It really changes the way it looks.
Yeah, that is worth keeping and seeing.
Well, maybe I can, I don't know if we have the hammer and chisel, but maybe I can do a little work on that. Or maybe the hammer drill.
I don't know. It's got a course, but it'd probably do it.
Yeah. What else we got down here in the bottom?
Yeah, let's see.
So you think that's the main seam?
Well, that's a horizontal. It's definitely not that one, but
right.
It's matched up with it. It's definitely a horizontal seam down there. There it is. That's exactly the kind of stuff I was finding with the gold in it.
Oh, there it is.
Quartz crystals and all.
Yeah, what's that right there?
Gold?
I don't know.
Could be.
throw it in the crusher.
Yeah. Is that your solution for everything?
That's my solution.
Okay.
Well, Dan has been finding some really interesting little quartz crystals in these small seams that we're working on, right where his foot is. And I don't have the close-up camera that he does. And he's got some really cool close-up shots of the crystals and the gold. So be sure to check out his channel and his video of our adventures today to see some really cool close-up shots of what we found. I'll leave a link in the description. All right, well, we're getting all cleaned up here. We've got, I don't know, 8, maybe 10 buckets of rock today. And we're gonna take it back and crush it at my place. See how much gold we have.
See if there's any gold at all.
See if there's any gold at all. Wait a minute, that wasn't the deal.
Wouldn't that be disappointing?
Now I gotta get all those rocks back across the border, get all our tools back down to the truck. So thank you, Dan. Big thanks for having me out. I'm excited to get your rocks down to the States, have you come down and we'll get them crushed up. And thanks to everybody for watching. If you want to see part 2 coming up soon, please subscribe so you can get a notification for that video when it comes out. And I hope you enjoyed the adventure today. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.